Let me start with introducing myself. My name is Zeeshan Khan. I am a senior manager in a multinational consulting organization called NTT Data. The area where I provide consulting to our clients is mainly related to big data and its applications. The platforms that we cover and provide services in to our clients include the major cloud providers, AWS, Azure, and Google Cloud. But that is not the only area which we cover. We cover providing the architecture, strategy, quality, and governance to our customers, everything that revolves around data, starting from building a platform and ending on governing it in an effective and efficient way. I lead a team of more than 10 experts in our organization. All of them are experts in the area of big data at different expert levels, starting from medium to senior level. I also mentor the junior and the people who start their career at our organization. So I have seen, I'm in touch with people at different levels of their career. Gives me a very good insight into the development of how professionals in our domain develop themselves, go through various learning as well as personal development stages. So I would use that knowledge to give some insight into how job search, how career development, a choice of career as well as choice of your employer, and then how you can build on that and find a satisfaction in your career. So I've been involved in hiring candidates from all around the world. Because we are a multinational organization, we don't limit ourselves to one market. However, our focus is initially definitely on the local candidates, because it is easier to hire them, it is easier to integrate them into our organization. What I have come across is a variety of ways that candidates apply to different positions from junior to senior levels in our organization. What I find the most appealing or attention catching features in the CVs, because that is your first introduction whenever you apply for a position, is how well matching your CV is to the position that has been announced and the position to which you are applying. It also shows that you have done your research, that you have read through the job advertisement, that you have read through the requirements, that you have done some research about the organization, and all of that is very important. So if you have one CV, one application that you just send out to every job ad that you see, every organization that you want to apply at, it might work, but it will not stand out. So whenever you plan to apply for a new position, to search for a job, do some research, put some homework in it. First of all, find what you want to do, because that is the most important thing that will keep you going, because job search is a demanding process at times. So what will keep you going is to know what you want and then to go for it. Then research, as I said, research about the organization, research about the position that you want to apply, if it is in response to an ad. If it is not in response to an ad and you are doing the so-called initiative application, then in that case, you can be a bit more general in your application, because it is not specific to one particular position. But as long as you are applying to an ad or to applying in response to an ad or applying to a specific position, then focus on those skills. Also, every market has its own demands and own way of applications. For example, in Central Europe, it is very common that you should have a picture on your CV. In other places like North America, it might not be very common. In some countries or places, it is even required that you give your age or other details. So make that research, inform yourself, and then tune your application according to that. What information is generally required on your CV as well as in your application. Try to answer the questions that an organization is asking, not directly but indirectly in their ads. Put yourself in the shoes of the employer. If you were there, I mean, it's not easy, I know, but try to imagine what is the employer looking for, and then try to address all of those points in your application as well as your CV. What you also should not ignore is other standard practices that usually are expected in an application. Your application itself should not be longer than 1 page. Your CV should not be longer than the standard length. A standard ideal CV length, there is no ideal CV length. So in some cases, even 1 page is enough if you have covered all the information. There is also no standard format. Try to be a little bit creative so that your CV stands out. If you just downloaded a template from internet and filled in all the details and just sent it out, it will not stand out. I'm again saying that your CV should stand out, but it should still stay professional. Creativity, there's a good mix of being creative and staying professional. So creativity should not cross the limit of being and appearing non-serious, but it should still be a little bit creative as well as professional. Also, the words that you use, be very careful that those words are professional. Do not use exaggerated marketing for your personal profile selling. However, also don't undersell yourself. Also, do not use the formulations that do not put you that do not highlight your skills. So there should be a good balance of all these things in your CV. Like, because your CV is your first introduction. That is the first filter. That is the first stage where the candidates are filtered. So if your CV is not standing out, if it is not impressive enough, you might not get through the first stage, and that is when an employer sees maybe tens or hundreds of CVs at a time. He does not have time to interview all of them, to screen, but he has time only to screen them. And then in screening, if your application and CV doesn't stand out, the chances are that you will not be interviewed. So apart from replying to a job ad or applying for a initiative application, there are some points that that every candidate should work on to be effective in their job search, as well as to go through an interview successfully and land a job. Some of those points are related to yourself and how well you know yourself. So be very clear about what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses, what are your preferences, which kind of environment and which kind of career you're looking for. And these things should be, you should have worked on them, make personal notes, do some journaling, do some research. If you don't know answers to these questions, look at all the other options that you can find either on internet or in some books or journals or magazines. It should be very clear to you, because in the long run, these realizations will really help you. Once you sit in a job interview, and you will not only be asked about technical things, the employer would also know which kind of a person you are. Do you match the team that they have? Do you match the environment that they have in their organization? Are you flexible? Are you not flexible? Do you clearly know what your preferences are? And these things are visible in the very first few minutes of your interview, because the person who is usually interviewing you has already interviewed many people, or will interview many people after you. And the technical skills are not the only thing that they are looking for, especially if it is a mid to senior level job. Even in the entry level jobs, many organizations, especially the good and well-established organizations, they look for people who would match their organization culture and who are ready to learn new things, who are ready to adapt, who are flexible. However, too much flexibility is also can backfire, because that is not something which many organizations are looking for, because they want to know who you are, and that is only possible if you know who you are. So focus on these questions as well. Know what are your strengths. Some people like to be more creative. Other people like clear instructions and clear goals. Some like more communication, and others want to be more free and left alone in their job and want to find their way themselves. And at the same time, some people are more technically focused. They like to work with technologies. They like to learn new technologies, new platforms, new programming languages, new tools. There are other people who like more interaction with their team. They want to think and design and strategize. So these things should be clear to you. Of course, not everyone has the luck and the opportunity to find the exact kind of job that they're looking for. But if you know what you prefer, then it is easier to find a job which will keep you happy, which will also give you not only professional progress, but also personal satisfaction, which is very important in the long run. So these are some things that you should also focus on. Also, what you should have a clear idea about is what kind of things you want to know about the organization, because once you are in an interview, it should not be a one-directional interview. So it's not something that only the employer asks you all the questions and you give all the answers. There should also be a conversation. So some questions you should ask, and you can only ask questions if you know what you are looking for. So, for example, about the organizational culture, about your future manager, about your future team. In some cases, there is even a possibility of having some trial day where you go to an organization for a day, to a company, even a small, it could be a very small company, but they offer you to go there, have a typical day at work, to see which kind of environment and which kind of problems they are working on, which kind of organizational culture they have. And all of these things are important. We don't think about them. I remember myself as well. At the start of your career, most of the people just want to land a job. And I understand that. That should be the first goal, to land a job, to start somewhere. However, even while finding your first job, you can think about all of these things and try to have a clear idea what you're looking for, and try to find what are the opportunities. Which brings me to the next question: how to find those opportunities. For example, you imagine you know what you're looking for, you know yourself, you know your strengths, you know your weaknesses. You also have some idea about what kind of a career you're looking for. Now, how to go ahead, where to look for the jobs, which kind of questions you should answer for yourself, which kind of tools or platforms or other sources you should use. We live in a digital world, so of course the first choice is internet. The known platforms, I think if you just search on Google which platforms I can use for job searching, let's say in Canada, you would get a list of all those platforms. So it could be LinkedIn, it could be Indeed, it could be any other Monster or other Monster.com or other job searching platforms. And usually they are different from market to market, from country to country. Maybe as again, I would use the same example. So in Central Europe, maybe there are some local platforms which are more popular. More companies put their ads, the employment opportunities there. In Canada and North America, it might be different. So be aware of those and then look at those platforms. That is the first, usually the first point where people start searching. However, if you have some particular organizations, particular companies, corporate or small companies that you want to work for, then all of these companies have their own job portals as well. They have their own, just go to their website, look for careers. Usually they have a link to their career opportunities open or the ones which are in regularly available. Some companies also have entry-level programs where they hire newly qualified, newly graduated workforce, and then they take them into a training program. So that could be a very good opportunity, because in those training programs, you don't only just go and start working, but you also have a chance to learn about the organization and their culture in detail. So for those who have already shortlisted some companies that they want to work for, they can directly go to their websites, look for careers, the opportunities that they have, or any programs that they have, and target those especially. Still another and very, very effective way of searching a job is to use your connections, use your network. This can be someone from your private sphere, someone that they work for a company that you would like to work for, or someone who you are particularly impressed from because you know them through your relatives or friends or anyone, and you like the kind of career that they have. So it really helps if you have a good connection to such people, and if they know about some opportunities in their circle or in their organization. Apart from that, you can also make new connections online, so on LinkedIn or on any other professional networks. Also on some platforms where technical or other professional circles interact with each other. There could be even meetup events where professionals meet and get to know each other. So all of these different ways of direct or indirect networking also are a very effective way of searching for a job. If you already know someone, or if you know, or if you want, or if you make new connections to people in those professions where you also want to work. So that is how, if you already, as I said, so first step is to know what you want to do, know your weaknesses and strengths, prepare yourself really well, your application and CVs, then start with the search on all these platforms to filter and shortlist all the opportunities that you would like to target, and then start with applications. And with a little bit of luck and good preparation, you will land a very good job, or a very good start in a career that you want to grow in, that you want to work and flourish in. Okay, so once you know which kind of career you want to follow, which kind of organization you want to work for, or which kind of team or area you want to work in. Now, the next question is, how do you prepare for that? How do you become the right candidate? How do you stand out from other candidates? How do you become attractive for the employers? Now, there are many parts of it. First is your education, because that is one of the first few criteria that any employee will try to place you in among the other candidates. But the traditional education is not anymore enough in the current changing and dynamic employer and employee dynamics that we have in today's world. The industries are changing very quickly, the demands are changing very quickly, and the workforce also has to respond to that. Now, how do you do that? One of the most effective ways is to either gain experience through internships, through any practical opportunities that you have. You can also work on some personal projects. Today we have GitHub. Today you can show you can showcase your experience or anything that you develop, any app or any project that you work on personally, or even for free for some small or even medium or big size organization that you can put for the whole world to see. So you can design an app, you can work on some project and put it on the website. You can write some really cool piece of code and put it on GitHub, and you can add links to all of those in your CV. Any interested employer will have a look at that. So your education, then some of your practical experience, and then you can also try to gain some industry-wide known certifications. So let's say you want to be an agile project specialist, so you can do some agile certification. If you want to be a cloud professional on some particular cloud platform, so AWS has a lot of certifications to offer. Azure has a whole certification path. Google is nowhere behind. So all of these three cloud platforms offer their whole set of certifications that you can do. You can start with the very basic one at associate level, then go to professional, and then specialization level. And all the learning material is available online. With a little bit of investment, you can create your own account and then produce something there on all of these cloud platforms. So this is also very helpful. This will also make you or distinguish you from the other candidates. And especially if you somehow, if the organizations where you want to work in future, if they also offer internship program, that's the one that I already mentioned, that is also a door that you can use to get into that organization and try to work there, get to know the organization, deliver, and then people will know you. And obviously an organization will hire someone that they know much more with much more higher probability than someone whom they are interviewing for the first time, because you already have a rapport built there. So the work on all of these things to make you an attractive and more suitable candidate for any organization. Obviously, they are looking for someone who would fit in their organization technically, but also on a personal level, also at a cultural level. All of these things matter. For the technical part, I already mentioned that you can use some of these either work on a personal project, showcase it, land an internship or practical program in an organization, or do a technical certification. On the cultural or on the personal professional level, work on your strengths. All organizations value some of the soft skills that are common at all organizations. Every organization value good communication skills. All of them value analytical skills, so you can try to analyze complex problems, try to work on these common analytical skills like generalization, specification, sorting, and prioritization of your tasks. I'm not saying that you should be an expert at all of these, because most of these come with time, but realize the importance of these, work on these skills, and they will make you shine in an interview as well as during your career. So work on all of this whole spectrum. Give everything some time. It is not a very short journey, but it is not the longest journey, and every journey begins with a first step. So take your first step and focus on the second and third and so on. Have a plan, follow that. If you cannot make a plan, contact your teachers, contact your other experts, try to search for plans online. You will find, in today's world, there's not something that you cannot find online. So start somewhere, but do start. And good luck with the next steps.